Right, I'm going to show you now how to save a bit of money on pipe fittings, and it's basically how to bend your pipe instead of using a fitting. If you can put a bend in it, it's a lot easier, looks better anyway, and cheaper. So I'm going to show you a couple of bends, just one straight bend, and I'm going to show you a little set, how to get a set and get round anything that you're trying to get round with your pipe. Okay, the main thing you're going to need is a pipe bender. They're not very much money these days. I've got a spring you can use, but it does ripple the pipe. If you put a spring in, you do get ripples. With this you won't get it. If you can't get hold of one, see if you can borrow one. This is a pipe bender, and this is it here. This is the tool. It does have marks on it for exactly 90 degrees. So when it's reached that point, you know you have reached 90 degrees on the bend. That's the 3/4 pipe bender. That's the 15mm one. We're going to bend 15mm today, so it goes in this slot here. Okay, so how do you do it? Well, let's say this is your bit of pipe, and we've got a mark on here where the pipe was bought. We'll say that's our bending mark, where you want the bend to be. Okay, so what do you do? Okay, it's a little bit tricky. They're I've done them for years, but yeah, it's easier for me. But it's one of those tricky things. If that was the point you wanted to bend it at, slip it in your machine and aim. Put that piece over and aim your piece you want to bend in line with that. So then that part of the bender and that white line is your mark for your bend. That is a correct position. Okay, now you can't bend it yet because I haven't got the former. This thing is called the former, and this stops the pipe from creasing. So you put that in there. It's a bit awkward. I use my knee to hold a bit of pipe. Okay, so we make sure it's dead on the spot again. Okay, which is like that. You can see it out a little bit more. There it is. Okay, and we slip your former in there as such. Now once it's there, take up the tension. Now you can feel it's all locked in with your machine now, and now it's ready to bend. So we're going to go with the bend now, and just push it around gently, using that on the floor. Now you can hold the whole machine up if you want, like that, if you want to do it like that, and bend. Now you know it's right when you've reached that line. So when that is in the middle, and you can see the pipe as well anyway, when that is square on that, that is 90 degrees. So how can we tell? We'll take the bender out, take the former out, take the pipe out, and there we have a perfect 90-degree bend. As you can see, it's smack dab on, and that no ripples. It flattens it a touch on the corners, but not much. That's just quite normal for a bender, and that's a 90-degree bend. We do one, which will be a set next. Show you how to do that. Again, slide your copper tube in to the bender, and so, and that way. And we're going to say that we want to put a set in this bit of pipe to go around something. We'll say our line is there. I haven't marked a line, but we're doing an imaginary line. So it depends on the steepness of the set as to how much you want to bend the set. I usually do them about 45. So we get that a little push down, and we get to about there, which is around about sort of halfway on our set. Take it out. Then the clever thing to get your set right then is to put it in this way, up like that, away from your bend slightly. Now, depending on where you want the set to be, how much you've got to measure from there to there, the amount of set you want, and it depends on that angle there. There's a bit of trial error, but you can keep increasing it if you want to. The main thing to do as well is if you look down on the point of that, you must make sure that that is straight with your bender. You can see that, so it makes sure that is straight, and then you'll end up with a straight set and not one wobbling all over the place. So now we're going to just set him down. Now again, just push it down gently, and you can see when roughly you're going to get it right. I tend to take it out like this and look at it. Now I can see it needs a little bit more. Can you see that set now? Now that is setting that round, and you can always give it a bit more or a bit less. That looks to me about right. So there we have a set of about 2 inches. We take that out, and there you can see, if we wanted to get round something, that we have our set there. It's still not quite, so it could have been a bit more straighter. If it isn't, you can just give them a touch, you know, on the floor, or a touch on your knee, just to straighten it out perfectly. If you want to come around here, you'll see that it goes up the wall like so. So if you wanted to get round something, we don't want to get round that light switch, but just a demonstration. But that's a set, and that's all there is to it really. It saves you using fittings, and looks better, and save you a bit of money on plumbing supplies. Very easy to do. Get yourself a pipe bender, job done. Okay, that's it from me, Al. Any more plumbing tips on anything? I do a bit of anything. Derriton 33. Please check me out. Thanks very much.